If fear is the only thing stopping us from achieving our dreams, and we only fear what we don't understand, then the antidote to fear is knowledge. All we have to do is find out who has the knowledge that we need to conquer our fears and achieve our entrepreneurial dreams. My name is Callum Walker, and welcome to the podcast that will help you figure it out and conquer this lonely entrepreneurial journey.
What a beautiful day. Beautiful day. Look at that. Sun is shining. It's about 10 past 6. Bit of a big day today, actually. Sorry, just clean that. Bit of a big day. Had great 2-hour drop-in session with the Next Level Coach guys. Really enjoying that. It's been great to connect with some new coaches, get some new perspectives, see some people have just like some mind-blowing little ideas, which is just like incredibly humbling and exciting. And then I've had some really cool one-to-ones. I had an amazing one-to-one with my client Nick. Then a little bit of collaboration work as well. And then I was on a podcast. So it's been a lot of talking, a lot of talking. But today I want to run through, and I did an episode on this about a few weeks back, maybe 6 weeks back. I can't remember. But it was on my experience with cold water therapy that I've been doing. And it's been a ride so far. And also there's been an evolution, which is really exciting. I think first of all, before I kind of go into my full experience with it so far, I kind of want to touch on 2 points. The first one was I was incredibly skeptical about this. And there's a lesson in this that can be really beneficial to you, that I was incredibly skeptical around doing cold water therapy because of like my previous beliefs around it. So if I kind of think about like, when I was at uni, we did like a little, there was a little module all on like cold water, but really it was coming from the place of that post-exercise, like you don't want to be getting like you don't want to be getting into an ice bath after a training session, which most sports clubs get their athletes to do, because it can basically like blunt the adaptations that you're going to get from a muscular growth perspective. So that was the only information that I'd ever been given around cold water. So naturally my opinion of it was, cold water's like bad for you. Avoid it like the plague. But I think my point is that like, and what the lesson is that I want to kind of press onto you, is that like, that was just the lens that I was seeing it through. That was the lens I was seeing it through, but it was quite uninformed. That was just in one specific application. Whereas like my experience of it over the last 5.5 months now, and it's been every day, every single day for the past 5.5 months, I've had either a cold shower or now I've actually graduated to the cold bath. That's a different kettle of fish. Now, my point with it is that I could have missed out on a really valuable tool that's had a huge impact on my life because of my ignorance and my lack of desire to be able to actually like learn something new. And I think that us as coaches, we do the same thing all the time. That like I'd always have clients come to me with the latest and greatest supplement and I'd shoot it down because I knew nothing about it. You know what I'm talking about. They come to you and they're like, what do you think of this? Nope, it's a bag of shit. Doesn't work. When secretly I actually know nothing about it. Like I've been there. But the reason we do that is because it threatens our identity. It's a threat that could make us look stupid and highlight our lack of knowledge. So there's that one lesson being that like the best bit of advice I can give you from a coaching and entrepreneurial perspective is operate from an attitude of humility. Operate from an attitude of I don't have all the answers, which is so exciting because it means I get to seek out all the answers. And even then I won't have the answers. There are people who know more than me. Brilliant, that's more information I can acquire. Brilliant, that means I can get better. Brilliant, that means I can grow a better business. And amazing, I can help more people. That's the lens you want to see it. Some people can see acquiring or their lack of information and lack of knowledge as, oh my God, there's so much I don't know. versus actually there's so much I don't know. How exciting. How exciting. So, so there's that one being, first of all, I could have very easily missed out on a very, very valuable tool purely off the back of the fact that I was too ignorant to actually go and do some research and learn about it. But then the second point, before I fully go into my experience on it, is the why. Why do I do it? Why am I trying to do it? Well, first of all, it was out of curiosity. See how it goes. But actually, like, if I look at my real reason as to why I try to look after myself the best that I can, why I eat well, why I focus on my sleep, why I try and get as much exercise that I can in, why I practice mindfulness, why I'm now trialing this cold water, is to optimize my performance. Like, my business means everything to me. Maybe a bit too much sometimes. I'm obsessed with this thing. This thing is like, I feel a bit emotional actually, because like this thing has consumed me for like 7 years now. 7 years. This has just consumed me. And yeah, like, you know, I'm in danger sometimes of being a bit too obsessed. But you know what? If I wasn't obsessed, I'd be in the wrong place. And it means everything to me. And I'm sure that like your business means everything to you, which is amazing because it means it's the right thing. It's your calling. Like, I know deep down that this is about so much more than just making money. I haven't pinpointed the real spiritual reason for why I'm doing this yet. But it's got to be about so much more than just making money, because like, my life hasn't changed since I've made some money. I'm still in the same white t-shirt with the same trackies, with the same flip-flops that I've had. I've actually had these flip-flops since 2012. I've been to university, got 2 degrees and set up a business since these flip-flops were purchased. So my point is that like, it's not about the money. It's got to be about something more. And really, if I kind of look at like the reason why I'm kind of talking about this is that like, it means so much to me, and therefore I want to make sure that I can perform at the highest level that I can. So utilizing an extra tool like cold water therapy is vital for me. So if I look at almost like my reason why is to optimize my performance and make me perform at the highest level that I can. So if I kind of briefly talk you through my little like morning routine, and then I'll go through like my experience of, you know, what I found with it. So basically, like, I'll wake up. I'm probably waking up between like, I'm trying to get some regularity, but struggling a bit at the moment. But I was up at 6:15 this morning. And then sometimes I'll get up between 6:15 and probably 7:30. Actually, that's a lie. It's between 5:45 and 7:30 that I wake up at the moment, and I have no idea what it's going to be. It depends on what happens in the night. Because at the moment, we're on the little cycle which always comes of I wake up at God's hour, 3 o'clock in the morning, mind spinning. Every single amazing idea has to come to me at 3 in the morning. Thank you. Whoever you are, whether it's a God, whether it's infinite intelligence, whether it's a higher power, whatever, thank you for giving me my answers at 3 a.m. Nightmare. God, I'm fucking weird. But my point is that then I'll wake up and then I'll go straight into hot shower. I haven't quite braved the idea, or maybe I'm doing this wrong. I think Jay Alderton kind of says that this is wrong, but oh well. I'll get straight in a hot shower, and then I'll go and have a cold shower straight away. Now, I got to a point when then I'll have that cold water, and then I'll have a coffee, and then I'll start my work. And my coffee is now half caffeinated. Part is caffeinated. That reminds me, I've got to go pick up some decaf. And the other half is decaf. So I actually get fresh ground coffee, half of it caffeine, half of it decaf. I'm sorry for coffee lovers, but it's the only way I can have super strong coffee flavor-wise without blowing my mind up with too much caffeine, which is a problem for me. But yeah, so I'll go and do that, and then I'll always kind of like, I'll spend my time working on this like one specific project that I work on. And I'll get into that in a second, but I want this to be about cold water. So when I first started up, so the last time I updated you guys, I just probably got to about a minute in the cold shower, and that was about probably 6 weeks ago. Now, what I found amazing is my ability to tolerate the cold has gone so much higher. So that 1 minute turned into about 5 in the cold shower, and then I started to feel like it wasn't cold anymore. It's like, it's not even hot, and I'm in a t-shirt right now. Like, I've got no socks on. Normally, I'd be like, me and my missus have had an argument. I mentioned on my podcast a few weeks back. Me and my missus have had an argument solely because I was cold. Yeah, that's not going to happen anymore. I'm in a t-shirt. It's probably about 10 degrees right now, which is pretty cool. But it was weird because, like, within the first, it got to, 5 minutes. And actually, I got out, not because it was too cold, but because I was bored. So I was like, right, time to graduate. And I go in the ice bath. So about 2 weeks ago, I decided to go and make the transition to an ice bath. So I didn't go and buy a Lumi. The sun's coming out. Delightful. I haven't quite braved the cold yet. I haven't quite yet bought a Lumi. I'm not going to do that. I've got a bathtub. So I fill that with as cold water as I can, and then I just pour a load of ice in. So first time I did that 2 weeks ago, I got in for about a minute and a half, and then I was like, oh my God, this is cold. This morning, I did 6 minutes. 6 minutes. So yeah, that's 2 weeks. But how have I felt? I haven't noticed any difference, physically from a recovery point of view. Actually, no, that's a lie. But the thing is, I mentioned this last time, I'm not sure whether I can really tell the difference because I've been trained for so long. I don't really kind of get DOMS. So yeah, I'd say recovery-wise, it's probably about the same. I've definitely noticed I can tolerate the cold so much better. My skin is definitely, in a very good spot. That's probably good lighting. Natural lighting. Oh, here it comes. But the thing that I've noticed the most is the cognitive clarity. My ability to get into flow state, Jesus, that's heightened massively. If I go back to my morning routine, I kind of missed out one thing. Before I jump in the shower, I actually have a little cool, funky supplement that is very expensive. It's about 120 quid a month. It's a ketone ester. What is a ketone ester? I can hear you asking. Well, it is a supplement that basically puts me immediately into a ketogenic state without having to not eat carbs. I'm not eating carbs anyway, but I immediately get the benefits of the ketones. I'm not going to go too crazy into the details because I might bore you, but long story short, after exercise, that you get that real hit of fuck me, I feel mentally I'm on high, I really can concentrate, I can do everything. Well, part of that that is responsible is a compound called BDNF, brain-derived neurotropic factor. And basically you produce that after exercise. You also produce that after fasting. Now, what that does is it heightens your cognitive performance, your ability to perform tasks, to think clearly, make decisions, be creative, all that sort of stuff. Now, what's interesting is that when you fast, you produce BDNF. When you exercise, you produce BDNF. But you know what you also produce when you fast? Ketones. Do you know what you also produce when you exercise? Whether you're eating carbs or not, you produce ketones. So what's interesting as well is that ketone-generating exercises and activities increase BDNF, and BDNF increases your ability to utilize ketones, which then increase your ability to use BDNF, which then increase your ability to use ketones. So it's a pretty cool, not a vicious circle, beautiful circle. And I've really noticed that my ability to think, I combine the ketone ester. So basically I drink that and it gets me into a state of ketosis that you could only really experience probably after fasting for about maybe 6 days. So if you look at the reason why we want to produce ketones at that high level when you're fasted is because you want to enhance your concentration so that if something comes along, you can catch it. If I haven't eaten for 6 or 7 days, I can catch it. And the body produces those ketones to be able to do that. So you almost kind of hack the system and get the body into that fasted state without fasting for 6 days. It means I can eat my dinner. So I have that in the morning. I've noticed a profound effect from having a ketone ester. It just damages my bank account. And then I go and have the cold water, and the two of those with the right amount of caffeine, Jesus, talk about productivity. Like, I created a whole landing page this morning. New landing page, new lead magnet, completely this morning. Yeah, it's been about 4 hours. That's what I did this morning. 4 hours? Yeah, about 4 hours. Yeah, whole landing page design, sent out an email. Yeah, wow. Shit. But yeah, anyway, so cold water, I'm up to the ice bath now. 6 minutes. So and I really, really enjoyed that. And I really, really noticed the difference. So but yeah. What else was I gonna say? Yeah, so from a lessons point of view, what sort of lessons can we kind of like push towards you and how you can use this with your clients? Well, I think that really not necessarily just how you can use it with your clients, but more for yourself. There are so many things that you can do in your life to optimize your performance. There's so many things that you can do to elevate the results that you're getting currently. And if you're not getting the results that you actually want right now in your life, with your business or your clients, you need to change your actions. And the best sort of way to do that is to enhance the quality of you. And I've really noticed that, like, the more and more I focused on myself, the more and more successful things have kind of become. But one other thing, and I mentioned this yesterday when I was on my podcast while cooking, I think that, like, and again, I really, really want to press this, and I want to repeat it today, because, like, I really want to make sure that every decision that you make towards your business is a decision that you actually want and is in line with the life that you want to live, not the decision that you think that you should potentially make. Again, I kind of come back to a decision I made yesterday regarding what is it that I want to kind of push out. I want to push out a click and buy product. I want to push out a product that I'm going to be able to deliver, not something that causes me stress because I get quick money in. Do you know what I mean? Because actually, when I kind of think about it in the long run, first of all, the whole process is going to be far more enjoyable. And in the long run, it's going to be far more sustainable and successful. Because if I have 100 coaches, for me to make 100 grand on my elite, that's 18 coaches. Okay, 18 coaches, which isn't a lot. Yeah, I just need 18 coaches who want to level up their results. But there's 18 people I have to deal with on a one-to-one basis. I haven't got a problem with that. I love that. But there's a cap. So if I want to make 200 grand, that's 36. Whereas if I want to make, so that's 36 hours of my month. Whereas if I think about through my next level coach course, because it's delivered in a group, that requires 6 hours of my time. Well, 12 technically. I could have 200 people on that course, and I can deliver it because it's not a limiting factor. But then also the way in which it's actually like sold through video, it's sold through, I can pitch that. I can do a talk and I can pitch that to people because people would happily pay £1,000 for a 6-week course. I know that because I did it. I bought a Tony Robbins ticket. You know what I mean? So a decision I was going to make was centered around a decision that I thought I should make because that's what everyone else is doing and everyone else is advising versus what's my gut tell me? What's my gut tell me and what's the decision that I actually want to make? So maybe right now you've got a decision. You've got a decision that you're trying to make and you're like, oh, should I, shouldn't I, should I do this or should I do that? I don't want to get too philosophical here, but what's your heart tell you? What's your gut tell you? Like, what's that, like, deep down, if you flipped a coin, like, I go do that, you go, I wish it was the other side. I'm going to leave you with that. Actually, I'm not going to leave you with that. I'm going to leave you with this, as I always do. Remember, never forget, if every single one of your clients gave you one new client, you have doubled your business. The question is, are you giving them a good enough reason to recommend you? If not, come to moi.